Welcome back to class. This is the third class of theater arts, and today we'll be discussing on the topic script writing techniques. Script writing techniques, and script writing forms the foundation of theatrical, cinematic, and televised production. A well-crafted script serves as the blueprint for character development and also visual storytelling, pacing, and thematic resonance. This lecture introduces the fundamental script writing techniques, including the proper formatting for stage and screen principles of scene constructions and dialogue crafting and method for editing and revising scripts. And by the end of the class, you will be equipped with the knowledge to write short scenes and begin drafting one, as you will see in your assessment. While we talk about script writing, we have the formats through which we write the um, scripts, and the first one is stage play format. The second is the screen play format. The stage play format is designed for live performances with focus on actors, dialogue, and blocking. And talking about the formatting, it includes center dialogue, it's capitalized character names, and italicized stage direction. It also the plays are divided into act and scene with an emphasis on dialogue to carry the story. When we talk about the stage direction, um, they are used sparingly but strategically to indicate important action, the entrance or exit, and also emotional shift. So the visual and the sound element are kept simple and practical for live settings. So it's a live performance compared to when we talk about screenplay formats. It is the screenplay format is designed for visual storytelling through cinematography, editing, and sound design. So the use of technology, bringing it to visual um, um, form, whereby it is not a live performance. It follows standardized industry formats, with each page equalizing 1 minute of screen time. And scene begins with slug line specifying the int and ext, location, and time of day. The action description are written in present tense, and then the it's describing what is seen and heard. The dialogue appears centered under character names with parenthetical used sparingly for brief instruction. This is an explanation. You can check your notes. I have given a breakdown of examples as to these two formats of script writing. What are the key differences between these two script writing stuff, which is stage format and the screen format? When we talk about the purpose, the stage script is for live performance, while the screenplay is for visual storytelling for films or TV. The setting is minimal and implied for stage, while detailed and visual for screenplay. The dialogue carries the narrative for um, stage script, while it is often minimal, supported by visual action for screenplay. The structure, it is divided into act and scene for stage, while for screenplay, it is divided into scene and slug line. The technical cue is stage direction and entrances are for the stage script, while camera angles, transition, and sound cues are for the screen play. We also have the audience engagement, the difference there, and then the storytelling tools. For storytelling tools, we have acting, speech, and movement for stage script, while the cinematography, editing, effects, silence are for the script, the screenplay. Structure in script writing. When we talk about a scene is the fundamental building block of any dramatic um, scripts. When the well-structured scene mirrors the broader dramatic arc with their own mini rising action, the climax, and the resolution. Every scene should feel like a mini story. That is, it should be complete, meaningful, and essential to the whole narrative. What are the key elements that we can see or we should see in a well-structured scene? The first one is the turning point, which is the emotional or narrative shifts that changes direction. The next is the stake, which is what character stands to lose or gain. The next also is the conflict, which is the obstacle to the character's objective. We should also look at the objective. The objective is also a key element in a well-structured scene, which means that the character's goal that drive the scene, it should be embedded in a well-structured scene. And the last one is the setting, which is the where and when the scene takes place. It should also be embedded in a well-structured scene. Dialogue crafting in script writing. When we talk about a dialogue, we say it is a vehicle that carries character development, plot advancement, emotional expression, and thematic reinforcement. What are the functions? It reveals character, personality, and background. It also advances the plot with new information. It expresses subtext and hidden motivation. It builds relationship between the characters. And lastly, it creates mood and emotional atmosphere. What are the characteristics of a good dialogue? The first is it should sound natural yet purposeful. Also, it should serve as a it should serve a dramatic purpose, should contain subtext beneath surface meaning, should have appropriate pacing and rhythm, and lastly, it should reflect unique character voice. The techniques for writing effective dialogue, we have um, the these are the necessary techniques that are involved in writing effective dialogue. The first one is know your character thoroughly. The second is to start with a dramatic situation. The third is to read dialogue aloud and cut unnecessaries. And the last one is to use interruption and silences. When we talk about knowing your character thoroughly, it means understanding each character's background, worldview, and personality. Starting with a dramatic situation, it means that the dialogue is strongest when character have something they want. So conflict creates tension in speech, making for interesting scene. So there is need to give each character a clear objective that drives their word and actions. Reading dialogue aloud and cutting unnecessary. One of the best way to test dialogue is to hear it spoken. So you need to read it aloud. You see awkward phrases, the unrealistic rhythms, or unnatural wordings becomes more obvious when voiced out. And for the cutting of unnecessaries, it's a means of avoiding over explaining or including lines that simply fill spaces. And lastly, the use of interruption and silence. Real conversations aren't always smooth. People interrupt, trails off, or remain silent. So including these elements makes dialogue more lifelike and helps convey tension or uncertainty between characters. We move to script editing in drama writing. If we've written scripts, are there needs to actually edit it? Yes, there is need to edit and script editing is a crucial phase where writers revisit, revise, and refine their work to ensure clarity, emotional impact, and theatrical effectiveness. A good script is not merely written. So it's beyond just writing a script. It also involves rewriting, often multiple times. And editing occurs at both micro level and macro level. The micro level is line by line clarity, while the macro level is plot structured character arcs. What are the key areas to focus on? And the key areas to focus on include the structure and plot consistency, character development, the dialogue improvement, pacing and reading, the thematic clarity, medium suitability, and proper formatting. So, when we talk about the script editing, what are the steps to actually look into? You have to review what are the things to look into in editing. You need to review, which is examining the script from different angles. Also, you have to revise it, make necessary changes to improve the script. So if you will actually form a better script, we need to revise on it to make changes to improve on the script. And the next is rewrite, create new drafts based on the feedback. And the feedback now gets inputs from trusted readers. That's what people say. So when you get input from the trusted readers and then you rewrite it. What are the final self-editing checklists that you must look into while writing or while doing script editing? The first is the plot structure. You need to ask yourself, does the plot have a clear beginning, middle, and end with logical progressions? Also, you need to look at the character development. What are all character distinct, well developed, and believable with clear motivations? The next is to look at scene necessity. Is each scene necessary, and does it contribute meaningfully to the story or themes? You need to also ask yourself, is the dialogue concise, engaging, and reflective of each character's unique voice? You need to also ask the question, are the central themes consistent and effectively developed throughout the scene? And lastly, you need to ask the question, is the script properly formatted according to stages or screen conventions? And in conclusion, script writing combines creativity with structure, blending compelling storytelling with precise technical execution. So in the lesson, we've been able to look into these techniques of script writing and understanding the stage versus screen format, how it is being formatted, and the necessary things we need to understand in it. We've looked into constructing effective scenes, crafting purposeful dialogue, and refining script through editing. When we do this, it actually will help us to be able to transform ideas to performable works for theater, films, or television. And I would ask you to remember that great scripts are not just written, they are rewritten through practice, feedback, and the revision. Thank you. Next topic will be the fundamentals of acting. The fundamentals of acting. You see that we are going deeper into the course theater arts. Thank you.